Let's hope and pray we can bounce back from that Thursday night game. What is up, Fin fans? Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets. Dolphins are 2-0 in this division. Beat the Patriots, beat the Bills. Can we do it against these Jets? These resurgent Jets played pretty well for the most part against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll get into all that stuff. Real quick, I got to shout out some new members and patrons. On the member side, you got Billy E. and Derek Love. Thank you guys so much for becoming members. And on the patron side, we got Noel Santa Cruz. Thank you so much for becoming a patron. If you'd like to become a patron, it's linked below. And if you would like to become a member, it is the join button next to the subscribe button. One other thing I want to say before we jump into previewing this Dolphins-Jets game, I will be at the game Sunday at the MetLife Takeover. If you don't know about the MetLife Takeover, you can go to MetLifeTakeover.com. Or you can go on their Twitter, which is Dolphins NYC. They do it every year when the Dolphins come here and play the New York Jets in MetLife. Essentially, we take over their stadium, hence the name MetLife Takeover. Very cool people. They take a bunch of a good portion of the money that they raise and they donate it to charity. They do a lot of great stuff. The way it works essentially is if you buy tickets to their tailgate, you get like the foods included, drinks are included. You could still go to the tailgate. You just can't get the food and drinks that are included if you don't have a ticket. Also, they sell tickets to the game. Now, I don't know if they have any left. You can go check MetLifeTakeover.com. But I will be there. It is in parking lot L4. It's where all the buses are. You can tell because there's a huge area of Dolphin fans. I will be there. I'll be wearing my DouglieDoWrong jersey, which confuses the hell out of people because I started the channel in 2018, so it's an 18 Dolphins jersey, and on the back it says DDW. So people look at the front if they don't know who I am, and yes, there are people who don't know who I am, because I'm Doug. Who gives a crap? They look at the front of me, they go, "Why are you wearing a Preston Williams jersey?" And then they see the back, and they go, "What the heck is DDW?" And then I go into the whole spiel about how I'm a Dolphin YouTube, yada, blah, blah, blah. So I will be at the game. In a short little tidbit, and if you want to meet up, you want to say what's up, I will be vlogging it again. I have my my little GoPro set up here. I will be vlogging it. So if you want to be in it, you can say hi. If we take a picture and I'm not vlogging, send me the picture, whether through email, whether through Instagram, whether through Twitter DMs. Send me the picture, and I will have you guys at the end when I do that nice little collage, when I do the vlog. But that's the spiel I got about the MetLife Takeover. I will be there. It's in parking lot L, section 4. It'll be fun. It'll be a blast. I hope to see a bunch of you guys that are in the area or come up from Miami to experience this cool takeover, take pictures, shake hands, talk about the Dolphins. Real cool stuff. Now, with that out of the way, I got my brother from another mother. This funny thing about this, and I talk about this every time Ian from Jet Central comes on the channel. He is a Jet fan that lives down in Florida. I'm a Dolphin fan that lives up in New Jersey. I think it's hilarious. We met probably about 3 years ago. Coolest guy. We collab all the time. We work together all the time. He does great content, not only about the Jets, but he covers the draft. And he's a very, very knowledgeable guy when it comes to college prospects and all that stuff. Go over, check out his channel. It's in the title. But yeah, I had Ian from Jet Central on, picked his brain about the Jets, what he thinks, all that stuff. So without me rambling anymore, let's jump over to Ian from Jet Central. You guys can see I got my man Ian from Jet Central. Ian, how are you doing? You guys are 2-2 on the season. You are doing pretty well. How are you feeling so far?
Yeah, dude. Well, hey, first and foremost, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. But yeah, dude, 2-2. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. We're now in October and we're not talking about mock draft, so I'm pretty pumped up about that. But I mean, in all seriousness, when I was looking at the Jets schedule, and I guess you can make the same argument too with the Dolphins, like to start the season off, like it was tough. It was Bengals in the Super Bowl last year, Baltimore, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and we got Green Bay after Miami. Denver as well. I mean, I don't want to sleep on them, but it's a pretty difficult first section of the schedule, and it doesn't lighten up until later on. So I was thinking, hey, we just got to scrape by. Let's try to collect as many wins as possible. I was thinking maybe like 1-3 at this point, but I mean, to be sitting here right now at 2-2, I'm totally excited.
Now, what part of the team are you like the happiest with? Like, because I know your defense was doing pretty well, and then Joe Flacco was on and off, and now Zach Wilson's back, which I'm pretty sure you're happy about that. You got the young wide receiver, young running game. What aspect of your team are you most happy about?
I would say right now the corners.
Okay.
That's really been the most consistent part of the team. I mean, obviously the team drafted Sauce in the top 5, and he's looked like every bit worth that pick. I mean, the guy's frankly unbelievable. The size, the speed, the overall production as well. Just he's been elite. And then on the other side, DJ Reed. Brought him in over from Seattle, coming off the best season in Seattle, fits the system really well. He's kind of the heartbeat on defense. He does like a lot of the pregame and postgame speeches and everything. He gets everybody pumped up. But man, his production as well on the field has been absolutely fantastic. And one underrated thing about DJ Reed that I love as well, he's only getting paid 11 mil a season. The
Oh,
Jets
wow.
signed a 3-year contract worth 33 mil, and he's playing like one of the best corners in football. So with guys getting paid like Ramsey and Peters and Humphrey, these massive cornerback deals, I'm happy to get not necessarily a corner on the same,
Mm,
it's only been 4 games, you know what I
yeah.
mean? But like so far through the first quarter of the season, I'm happy to be getting similar type of production for, only 11 mil a season.
Yeah, and that's, not to knock my own guy, but Xavier Howard hasn't been playing that great, and he's been making a lot more money than 11 million a year. So, yeah, I feel you on that. Looking at this game, Dolphins, Jets, what part of the Dolphins, team scares you the most?
I would say explosiveness
Mm,
and really creativity too with McDaniel. Like I just feel like at any given play, granted, we haven't really seen Bridgewater at the helm, but Tyreek Hill, Gesicki up the seam, Jalen Waddle, even the running backs as runners or pass catchers, Edmonds and Mostert. I feel like the Dolphins just have so many different ways to attack a defense. Down the field, short game, quick passing game, running the football, like whatever it is, even Bridgewater and Tua showing off their mobility as well. Like
mm,
on 3rd and 4, they can scramble and pick up a first down. Like that's not you're not going to go see Tom Brady do that. You're not
yeah.
going to see a lot of these pocket passers doing it. But Bridgewater and both Tua, they can go out there and do that. So I feel like just not really knowing what's coming and the fact that they can pretty much score 6 points on any single play.
How are you feeling about Zach Wilson so far? I know he had a rough, first 3 quarters last week, but then he kind of really pulled it together and helped beat the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. How are you feeling about him? It's his first game back, so I'm not going to jump to conclusions about his play on the year and how he's going to be. But so far, he had, the injuries and stuff, was out for a few weeks. Pretty sure you're happier to see him than Joe Flacco. What's your thoughts on how he's been playing so far?
Yeah, man. I mean, really, like you said it best, the first 3 quarters were not that good.
Mm,
Through 2 INTs, one of which came right at the end of the half, essentially taking 3 points off the board. And then Pittsburgh went all the way down the field with limited time and kicked a field goal. So they got 3 points going into halftime. So that was kind of a major killer in my opinion. Like that's just stuff that you can't do. But
yeah.
in the 4th quarter, I think he showed pretty good at like amnesia, just forgetting all that stuff, forgetting some of the bad decisions and everything. And he really put the team on his back. I think he
Mm.
did a good job of that. He was 10 of 12 in the 4th quarter, and he also went 6 for 6 on the last drive of the game and obviously, on the game winner. So right now I'm feeling pretty good. It is kind of erratic. Like every time he throws the football, it's either going to be like an incredible play or it's going to be incomplete or the ball is going to hit the ground. You just don't really know what you're getting.
Mm.
But man, when you see the release and you see the arm strength and even the mobility as well, it's crazy. It's really crazy to think about. Like if this guy can just be consistent, I really feel like he could be a top 10 guy.
Yeah, and we talked about that on your channel when I was talking about Tua Tagovailoa and his inconsistencies, and they just got to put it together because you see it. You can see little bright spots of if he can do this consistently, he's a franchise quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback. It's just got to chain them together. What part of the Jets team can the Dolphins take advantage of? Like, what is the weakest part of the Jets team right now?
I would say starting off slow. I feel like every time the Jets start off slow, even going back to last season, they just lose the game.
Mm,
If the Dolphins can get out to a 13-0 lead, 17-0 lead, in the first half, there's a pretty good chance you guys are just going to, walk away with the win. I think for whatever reason, the Jets, when we start off games with just like 3 and outs and turnovers and everything like that, it doesn't even like it just seems like when the Jets have zero success in the first quarter, the rest of the game is just shot.
mm,
And I can't really put my finger on why. I don't know if it's game planning throughout the week. I don't know if it just looks like everybody is rusty in the first quarter because it happens a lot. It's happened way more than under, Adam Gase and Todd Bowles and even Rex Ryan. I can't remember a Jets team starting off like this slow. Like I feel like this is one of the one of the most consistent things about the team is like they start off rocky a lot, but when this team does actually score points in the first quarter, like I think last week they got 10 against Pittsburgh. They seem to be in it to the very end. So I
mm.
think really that's the main concern for me. Just starting off slow, getting in your own way, having miscommunications and guys lining up in the wrong areas and penalties and wasting timeouts, things of that nature. If we could just clear those things up on a consistent level, I would be pretty happy moving forward with this team. But it's just all about getting over that hump.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel because that was like the Dolphins' MO the past 2 years. Is even like the seasons they would start slow, and you're just like you got to chain these things together. Last thing I'm going to ask you, what's your thoughts on the game? Who's going to win? And you don't have to give a score prediction if you don't have one.
Yeah. So I mean, we talked a little bit about this too on my channel, like a couple minutes ago. I really like what the Dolphins have put together. Man, they're 3-1. They have big time wins. They have the talent. But I'm going to say the Jets win this one. I know I don't really pick the Jets a lot with score predictions and stuff like that, but I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say the Jets in a close one.
Hmm.
I'll say Jets 27, Miami Dolphins 24. I think there's going to be a lot of throwing from both teams. I think really it's going to come down to who makes that defensive stop, who comes up with that turnover, something like that.
Awesome, awesome. Well, hopefully, it's a good game. Hopefully, everyone stays healthy. It seems like health has been a big issue lately in the NFL. Where can they find you so I can send them as many people your way as possible?
Yeah, run a YouTube channel called Jets Central covering all things New York Jets.
All right, bud. Well, I will talk to you again later in the year when actually at the last game of the season.
Is it really the last game?
The
Damn.
last game of the season. Maybe it'll be for playoff implications. We'll see. But I will
Baby, that'll be sweet, man.
I will talk to you again at the end of the year.
Sounds good with me. Thanks so much.
Always a blast. I will have him on again at the end of the year because the Dolphins play the Jets last game of the season. So let's jump into his injury report. I don't want to, but I have to because I got to give you guys this information. I'm going to pop it up. Now, normally I try to like put it here, right? So you can still see my ugly mug while having, it here. But this sucker's huge. This sucker's real huge. So you can see on the injury report, again, I shoot this Thursday night. We will get more clarity today while you're watching it from on Friday. So I will either post it as the pinned comment when I get the information, or you can follow me on Twitter. But you have, here we go. Teron Armstead didn't participate. Sathan Carter, he's still in concussion protocol. I don't expect him to play. Keon Crossan didn't participate. Xavier Howard didn't participate because of a groin injury. Robert Jones didn't participate 2 days in a row. Obviously, Tua Tagovailoa, his concussion, his back, his ankle, didn't participate. The limited, Savon Ahmed, Tyreek Hill with a quad were limited today for me, yesterday for you guys. I will talk about that because I could probably hear you all gasp. Brandon Jones and Zach Sealer were limited, and Jalen Waddle went from didn't participate to limited, and then full participants for everyone else: Tanner Connor, Raekwon Davis, Trey Flowers, Greg Little, Hunter Long, and Cedric Wilson Jr. Nice to get him back. And then rest day for Jerome Baker and Melvin Ingram. I will say this because I know you guys are probably hyperventilating. For one, Teron Armstead is a do not participate probably for the past 3 weeks. With his toe injury, he plays. I'm not worried about Teron Armstead. He will play. Xavier Howard, I'm a little worried about. He said he will do everything in his power to play this game with a groin injury. I'm hoping he does. If he doesn't, we're going to be real thin at corner. So again, really hope he does. And then with Tyreek Hill popping up, I know for a fact everyone went, ah! Barry Jackson even came out and he made a comment about this because a lot of people were losing their marbles. If you get any type of treatment, whether it's a rub down, whether it's an ice bath, whether it's any type of treatment, you have to be put on the injury report. So with Tyreek Hill with a quad, he probably got some treatment on. He probably got it stretched out. He probably got it rolled out with that roller. Probably went to go see somebody and get that worked out. And so now he was on the injury report and people are freaking out. I fully expect Tyreek Hill to play. I fully expect Jalen Waddle to play. It's going to be nice to have Cedric Wilson Jr. back. I fully expect Teron Armstead to play. The ones I don't know about are Xavier Howard. And then same with Byron Jones. Mike McDaniel said that he isn't in any rush. He'll wait until the middle of the week to see when he's coming back. But again, it is the middle of the week and we're not hearing anything. But he said he's in no rush and he's kind of still working on coming off the pup. It bothers me. Come on, Byron. You got to help us out here. But I think Keon Crossan, I think Kader Kohu, I think Nick Needham, I think these guys are sustainable, but having X out there will really, really help. Really help. And not having X and Byron, this game is going to... I'll talk about it. So I'm getting too far ahead of myself. And we still got to look at the Jets injury report. Isn't that nice? Look how small their injury report is. They do have a ton of offensive linemen on IR, though. So looking at this injury report, you're like, it's only 5 people for them? Their offensive line is pretty beat up, and I will talk about that in a second. But Max Mitchell and Quincy Williams didn't participate for 2 days in a row. Breece Hall was limited, and he's still limited. Marcel Harris was limited, then full, and then Zach Wilson was limited and full as well. But yeah, that's what I got for you. Now, let's talk about the matchups. I like this new little thing I threw in there, so we're going to talk about the matchups. The Dolphins offense versus the Jets defense, and the Fins defense versus the Jets offense. Real quick, because being that I slipped with saying the Patriots, a lot of you guys are seeing this, right? You see this thing over here. And I've gotten some DMs, and I've gotten some of you guys saying to me, what the flip is that? Is that a mug? What is going on? My man, go back and watch the Week 1 recap. It is a roll of toilet paper with a Patriot logo on it. Why on the God's green earth would I have this whole wall of Miami Dolphins stuff and then have a Patriot mug? Relax. So we're going to look at the matchups here. We got points for the Dolphins offense is 9th ranked. The Jets defense is 25th ranked. Again, advantage Dolphins. Pass offense, the Dolphins are 3rd ranked. The Jets defense is 15th ranked. Still pretty good. Like my man Jet Central said, Sauce Gardner doing really well for them, but the Dolphins have the advantage there. Rushing, Dolphins offense, 29th ranked. Got to do better than that. That's not something on my 5 things, but that's something they got to do better than. And the Jets defense is 13th ranked. Obviously, there's the advantage to the Jets defense. 3rd down conversions, the Dolphins offense is ranked 10th with 41.9% of their 3rd downs converted. And the Jets defense is 31st ranked with 51. Advantage to the Dolphins offense, staying on the field. Let's keep that going. Then flip it, Dolphins defense. Points for, 16th ranked. Jets offense, 18th ranked. A little bit of an advantage to the Dolphin defense there. Dolphins pass defense is 31st ranked. They have that bend not break. And also X and Byron. Byron not being there and X being banged up is seriously hurting, but they have that bend not break, and there's other factors going in there that I will talk about. Jets offense, 4th ranked in pass. Good for them. Did not expect that. Advantage to their pass offense. Rushing, the Dolphins rush defense is 11th ranked. He's good. And I'm very happy about that. That's something I'm very happy about. And the Jets rushing is 28th ranked. The advantage to the Dolphins defense. And then when it comes down to third down conversions, the Miami Dolphins are ranked 30th, allowing 50%. They got to get off the field on third downs, especially third and longs. And the Jets offense is ranked 21st ranked, getting 31.1% of their conversions on third down. So a little advantage to the Jets offense there. That is the matchups. Now we'll get into the 5 things that the Miami Dolphins need to do if they want to beat this New York Jets team. No specific order, but these to me are the most 5 important, because there's a few things that I could have ran through, and there's a few things that I could have said, oh, they need to do this and they need to do that and they need to do this. But these are the 5 that I'm like, you do these, you're gonna win. And obviously, I don't have run the ball on here, and I'll talk about that after when I go into my prediction. But there's some things on here that to me these are the most important. You do this, you'll win. Number 1 on the list, and again, it's in no specific order, is get sacks. You had 1 sack last week. This front 4 was supposed to be dominant. You had 8.5 from the rookie Jalen Phillips. You had 9 or 9.5 from Emmanuel Ogbah. Sealer was getting in there. Christian Wilkins had a few sacks. We need more. We need more, and we need more without blitzing. We need to get pressure, because normally I say get after opposing quarterbacks or get pressure on opposing quarterbacks, or contain opposing quarterbacks. But now I'm at the point where I need to start seeing some sacks. Pause on that. I need to see the opposing quarterback sacks. Pause on that. I need to see the opposing quarterback get tackled to the ground. It's not happening as much as I wanted to. And it's bothering the crap out of me, because I thought, again, the front 4 is doing really well at stopping the run. That has a lot to do with the defensive tackles, especially Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer. But I need to see these defensive ends. Andrew Van Ginkel's, playing more, so I want to see him be more disruptive, get in the backfield, and get some sacks. You can pause that if you want. I don't care. Number 2 on this list, we got to force some more turnovers. Now, Zach Wilson likes to throw turnovers. The Jets like to give up turnovers. This defense used to like taking advantage of that and used to like getting turnovers. It seems like they're kind of regressed in that area. And if the Dolphins can force turnovers, and if the Dolphins offense can stay on the field more, and if the Dolphins offense can matriculate more and eat the clock up more and take advantage of having very dynamic players, they can win. So we need to force turnovers. We need to go back to that way of, it was like 38 games or something like that, where we had at least 1 turnover. We need to get back to that Miami Dolphin defense football and force some turnovers. Number 3 thing on the list. Now, like I said, 11th ranked in run stopping. Continue the run stop dominance. You don't want the Jets to start running all over you, and then you don't want the play action to be incorporated, and then you don't want your guys getting beat over the top, because like Ian said, that's the thing that they will try to do. And I've been hearing that a ton with these wide receivers they have. They'll try to beat you over the top, especially if Xavier Howard can't play. And even if he can play, he's not going to be 100%. So you want those, 2 high safeties, and you will give up underneath, but you're not going to beat us over the top. So we got to continue the run, stop the run, especially with their having a 28th ranked rush offense. Continue that dominance and make them one-dimensional, and then again, pin your ears back and get after the flipping quarterback. Number 4 thing on this list that the Miami Dolphins need to do if they want to beat this New York Jets team, for some reason I keep wanting to say New England Patriots, we need the best of Teddy Bridgewater. There's the worst and there's the best of Teddy Bridgewater. We've seen the best, some with Minnesota, not much with Denver. But we've seen the best from him. Even with the Saints, he's played well. He's played really well, especially as a backup quarterback coming in certain situations. We need to get the best out of him. We need to not have an interception that will cost us the game. We need to see him make the smart reads, because he is a smart quarterback. He is a very good quarterback. I'm hearing a ton from not only players that are still playing, but like Brandon Marshall has high reviews and rave reviews about Teddy Bridgewater. I want to see that. We need to see that, especially with Tua probably going to be out about 2 weeks. That's my prediction. We need to see that from him, especially when, next week you're playing your old team. Best out of that. And then the fifth and final thing on my list of things the Miami Dolphins need to do if they want to beat this New York Jets team, we got to get the best out of the secondary. This secondary is depleted. We went into the offseason having probably one of the best secondaries. Javon Holland, Xavier Howard, Nick Needham, Byron Jones, Eric Rowe, and then all of a sudden Kader Kohu starts coming in. Trill Williams starts to show up. All these guys, Keon Crossan, and then unfortunately injuries start happening. We bring in guys, Alexander, injuries happen. We need the best out of this secondary. We cannot look past the New York Jets. We can't think, oh, they're just 2-2, blah, blah, blah. We watch them, this and that. We need to get the best out of this secondary, and we need to clamp down on these wide receivers and allow the defensive ends and the defensive line to get after the quarterback. So those are my 5 things that the Miami Dolphins need to do if they want to beat this Jets team. It's been 12 consecutive games where the New York Jets have not beaten an AFC East team. And their head coach has noticed it. He said it in a locker room speech. And I don't want the Dolphins to be the team that gets them off that skid of losing 12 straight to AFC East opponents. The Dolphins need to play this game smart. Now, Mike McDaniel had 10 days to get Teddy Bridgewater ready for this game. He also had 10 days to write up and make plays specifically for Teddy Bridgewater. I've said this not only in the film breakdown, but in my quarterback situation video, that I noticed that some of the plays on Thursday were made for a left quarterback, because I saw Teddy have to play action and then have to do like a complete 180 to get himself around to throw it this way versus throw it this way. You know what I'm saying? You can hand it off, play action, and then come back this way. Boom. Versus play action here, and then you have to completely turn back around to look down the field. So I'm thinking you give Mike McDaniel 10 days, he's going to be able to sit back and draw up plays and really hone in on Teddy Bridgewater's strengths and really mess with the opposing defense. I'm picking the Dolphins to win this one. I'm going to be there, so for the love of God, I would love a win. They won last year when I was there. I was the bomb to Mac Hollins. I'd love another win. 27-17, I say the Dolphins win by 10. 4-1, I would absolutely enjoy it. If we can go another 4 games, going 3-1, and at around the midpoint of the season be 6-2, I'll be ecstatic. They can't look past the Jets. They got to. If you get a lead, and if you take like a good portion, say it's halftime and the Dolphins are up 17-7, do not take your foot off the gas. Put your foot down, because we noticed that they did it with the Patriots. Get after Zach Wilson. We've watched the Jets 2 games come back, right? The Browns game and the Steelers game. The games they won, the opposing team let them come back, especially the Browns. Like, what the flip were you thinking? There was like 2 minutes left in the game, and you let them come back. Stupid. Don't let that happen. So do the 5 things. And again, I didn't have run the ball on there. For one, I don't think it's as important. Yes, obviously we need to run the ball, but I think these other 5 things are more important and can equate to winning, because we haven't been running the ball that great, and we've been winning the past 3 games besides last Thursday. But we do need to run the ball. It's bothering me that we have the run game guru for the San Francisco 49ers, and we're struggling running the ball. And they talk to the OC and they talk to the offensive line coach and all that stuff, and they equate to that it's not just the running backs, and it's probably more of the offensive line, which I'm noticing as well. We got to run the ball better, much better, please. But that's what I got for you. Comment below. Let me know what you think. What's your predictions on this game if you're going to the game? Hope I see you. Like I said, I'll be at the MetLife Takeover. If you want to take a picture, I'm totally down. If you take a picture, send it to me. I'd like to put you in the vlog, all that good stuff. But other than that, I will see you guys. I won't see you Sunday. I'm not going live Sunday because I'm going to be at the game. But I will do a post game when I get home. So you will get a post game from me when I get home. I might even, if you're on Twitter, I might make a quick video from my phone, send it straight to Twitter, or make a short, send it straight to YouTube so you guys know how I feel about the game real quick, and then go into my post game when I get home. But I will see you guys Sunday with the post game. Let's get a W here, and let's go to 4-1 on the season. But like usual, stay classy. F N top.